So it's 6th of November today. The lawn season is just about to end. But before it does, I still have a lot of things to do. I need to get out an application of fertilizer. I need to get out some iron. I need to get out my cocktail with humic acid, silica and seaweed. I need to mow the lawn to the height I want it to be during winter. And I also have some general cleanup to do. I need to get some leaves and stuff off the lawn. But before I do any of that, we're going to discuss when is it too late to actually do any of this. So we're going to take a look at the ground temperature. And we're also going to discuss a little bit about why I choose the height I choose before winter. Because I've been getting some questions about what height cut to go for just before winter. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what kind of fertilizer to use this late in the season. I know there's two schools when it comes to fertilizer late fall. There's people using a lot of nitrogen and there's people using barely any nitrogen at all. And I also seeded some bare spots just a month ago. So today we're going to have a look at those and see how they look, but that will be later in the video. So I have a lot of stuff to do today, so let's just get going. So hey everyone, my name is Sam and I'm an average Joe lawn nut. So first of all, is it too late to do all the stuff I said I need to do today? Well, that depends, of course. It's all weather dependent. For me, the lawn season ends when the ground temperature goes below 8 degrees Celsius, so about 46 degrees Fahrenheit. That for me is when the grass goes dormant. It's not going to grow anymore, nothing else is going to happen. So for me, below 8 degrees, that's when the season pretty much ends. So I've put down a thermometer in the ground just to see what the temperature is. Let's have a look. All right, so let's put the thermometer on and see what temperature we have. I am well within the margin, aren't I? Well, this means I'm very late in the season. Let's just switch it to Fahrenheit so you see 46.5. So 8.1, it's not a lot of margin, but it is still above 8, so I can still do all my applications. But it is getting cold today. It's about 50, so about 10 degrees Celsius. It is getting colder. We've had frost a couple of nights, but I can still see that the grass is growing. So I would say anything below Stockholm is okay. You can still go ahead and do all you want. If you're further north than Stockholm, just check the ground temperature. If it's below 8, then your season is over. Then I wouldn't waste any fertilizer. Then you're better off just wait until spring. So yeah, I am a bit late with everything, but there's still time. It's 8.1 degrees, so I have eons of time. All right, so first things first, I need to mow the lawn. I need to get it to the height I want it to have during winter. It's a bit too high in some areas. Then what is the ideal length for grass during winter? I'm not sure if there is an ideal length of grass, but for me, I like to keep it at 32 millimeters. That's one of the settings I have on the Gardena manual reel mower. Any longer than that, I feel that I'm risking snow mold. I've had some areas where it's been longer, and those areas have always had more disease, more snow mold coming from winter. And any shorter than that, then when spring comes, I feel it takes a very long time for those areas to actually get going. So shorter than 32 millimeters, it takes a while for it to come alive during spring. Longer than that, I feel I risk disease, snow mold and all kinds of stuff. So for me, the sweet spot is 32 millimeters. Now, is that the perfect length for grass before winter? I have no idea. I mean, all I'm speaking about is from my own experience, and my own experience says that 32 millimeters works very well for me. So that would be what I recommend. But whether that is the perfect length, I have no idea. I mean, I haven't done any studies on it. I haven't read any studies on it, but that works for me. So, all right, so let's mow the lawn first. Alright, so I'm done with the mowing. The grass was actually taller than I thought. I had to empty the bag 3 or 4 times. But at least now it's at the height I want it to be, 32 millimeters. I actually got a lot of the debris and all the leaves with the mower, but not all of it. So I'm just quickly going to run through it with the Gardena grass and leaf collector just to get all the debris out. I have some mulch that has been coming on the grass. My son and his friends play a lot of football here, so there's always stones, sticks, all kinds of stuff on the lawn. So I'm just going to quickly run over it with this, then we'll continue on. Alright, so I'm done picking up all the leaves and all the debris, pine needles. I have a lot of those. And it's actually important you actually pick up all of that stuff, because the leaves will block out sunlight, air, so it will kill the grass beneath. I actually saw a video the other day of someone saying that you shouldn't pick up the leaves because they contain a lot of nutrients that will go back into the soil. And well, I mean, they're not wrong. The leaves do contain some nutrients that will benefit the soil once it breaks down. For me, in that process, it will kill off the grass, so I don't see a point. I mean, so what, you get some more nutrients into the soil, but you kill off the grass at the same time? Doesn't make sense to me. But if you want to leave the leaves on because of the nutrients, it's up to you, but I would always pick it up. It's actually started drizzling now, but I guess that's good when you're about to fertilize. All right, so this is the fertilizer I've chosen. It's my usual fall fertilizer. So höst means fall in Swedish. So it's a 4-5-19, so it only contains 4% nitrogen, and it also contains 6% iron. Now, as I said in the beginning, there are some people that will recommend a high nitrogen fertilizer, and in Sweden we really don't tend to use that. We barely use any nitrogen during fall, and I've actually read some studies about it. So the way I think of it is, according to those studies, the later you get into the fall season, the less nitrogen the grass will actually pick up. And I think Ryan Noor actually mentioned this in one video as well. It's up towards 80% nitrogen that will just pretty much leach out and will not benefit the grass at all. If you consider the natural cycle of the grass, it's not growing. There's barely any top growth at the moment. So all that energy is being put towards the roots. So that's why I say potassium and phosphorus are the more important things during late fall, because during late fall and during winter, the grass is going to focus most of its energy on root development. So the leaves had their time, the top growth has stopped, there's no energy being pushed up to the leaves, so why put that much nitrogen on it? I mean, some nitrogen you can put on. I have 4%, but I think that's enough. If you fertilize throughout the year, the grass has enough nitrogen. You don't need to worry about nitrogen when it comes to late fall applications. That's at least my point of view on it. So I don't like to use nitrogen at all. And last year I actually did an experiment where I used high nitrogen on one part of the lawn and no nitrogen on another. I couldn't tell any difference whatsoever between those. So to me, all that extra nitrogen I put on last year, it just leached out. It didn't benefit the plant whatsoever. But again, that's my point of view. If you want to put a lot of nitrogen on there late fall, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that for me, it's wasting money and it's just going to leach out. So now I'm going to get the fertilizer out. The rain is actually starting to pick up. And it's kind of sad in a way. I mean, this is the last thing I will be doing on the lawn this year. I've enjoyed it so much this year. Out of all the years when I started getting into lawn care, I've enjoyed this year the most. So I'm actually pretty sad this is the last thing I will be doing out in the lawn. I'm already looking forward to spring. All right, so let's get the fertilizer out. All right, that's the fertilizer down, and I don't need to water this in since it's drizzling and it's so wet out anyways. The thing that actually burns is the nitrogen, so if you have low nitrogen or no nitrogen, you don't need to water it in at all. It will dissolve and it won't burn at all. So I'm not worried, I'm not gonna water this in or anything. I am, however, wondering if I am doing the spray today or not. I don't want to spray everything on and then it just washes away, but we'll see. First, let me just show you the bare spots I reseeded, and then we'll have a look at the lawn, how it's looking at the moment. So this is one of the spots. You can see that it's a bit lighter green, but it's coming along pretty good. And it only took about 2 weeks before it filled in. And I mean, that's the whole point of this Barenbrug RPR. If you're an impatient guy like I am, it's awesome. It fills in really quickly and you can seed very late. I've seen some people seed late October, and I'm worried for those people, because if you're seeding any kind of fescue or Kentucky bluegrass, it's going to take forever for it to establish. So you will need to reseed or overseed next year quite heavily. But with this RPR, it grows in instantly and you can seed pretty late. So this is also one of the spots you can see there where my son and his friends have actually played football and stepped on it quite a bit. So it's all some kind of gooey stuff right now, but it will be fine. I'm pretty sure it will come back during the spring. But up until they actually stepped on it and played football on it, it actually looked pretty good. To me, that's the whole point of a lawn. I mean, you have to use it. I love working in the lawn. I love having it look the best, but I'm not gonna say you can't use it just because I seeded one spot in the corner. You just reseed it and no big deal. And then we have this big spot over here in the front. There's been a lot of leaves on this, and it's the same thing. Some areas just didn't fill in, but overall it's looking pretty good. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with the lawn this year. It's starting to get a bit yellow in some areas, but that's just gonna happen during fall. and I have some fungus here and there. We don't have fungicides in Sweden, so it is what it is. I've never had any bigger issues with it, so it'll come back next year. I'm not too worried. Now for the last application, I am wondering about this rain, if it's going to pick up or not. It's barely drizzling. Let's just get on with it. Why wait? I mean, it's just gonna get colder and something's gonna come up tomorrow, and then you're not gonna do it for another week or two. At least that's how I work. So while I'm out here, I might as well just get it done. It's getting really dark now, but I'm hoping it will just stay the drizzle it is, because I really want to just get this done, because I kind of feel it's the last chance. It's going to get very cold very soon. It's November, so I just want to get this done. So we'll see. All right, so let's spray this thing on. All right, so I'm done with the spraying. I did everything I had to do. Thankfully it stopped raining, but I actually found a few grubs along the way up on the lawn actually. I forgot to film it for some reason, which was weird, but that kind of explains some of the dead spots I've been having here and there. Seems like I have a bigger grub issue than I maybe thought I had, but that's a problem for next year. And I actually got a question from one of the viewers last time I sprayed this on. Actually a very good question, which I failed to somehow bring up. He actually asked, why am I using iron, both spraying it on and adding it into the fertilizer? So the way I think about it is that the fertilizer, it needs to dissolve, it needs to go into the ground, it needs to be taken up by the roots. So for me, that's kind of slow release. It will take some time before it comes into the plant. However, the things you actually spray on the grass, those will be taken up by the leaves quite instantly. So for me, this will spread out the uptake of iron through a longer period. So that's why I have iron both in the fertilizer and why I'm adding it when I'm spraying it on. And this will be my last video for this year. I mean, as you can see, it's 3 in the afternoon now and it's already getting dark. By 4 it's already dark, so you don't have a lot of hours to actually film anything with, especially if you're at work. When you go to work, it's dark. When you come home, it's dark. So it is what it is. And anyway, there's not much more to do with the lawn. I would love to make some content for winter as well, but I'm not actually sure what that should be. I don't want to make videos just for the sake of making videos. I actually want to feel like I'm adding some value for someone. Even if you don't think I am, at least I think I'm adding some value. And when I do, I feel it's okay to do a video. But if you do have some suggestions what I could talk about or what you would like to see during winter, if there is anything, just let me know in the comments below. Now, as I said, if it's not too late to actually do all the things I did, I'm doing it 6th of November. If you live any further south, you still have some time. If you live further up north, I would say you might have missed your chance. And as I showed in the beginning, the best way to know is just get a thermometer, put it in the ground. As long as it's above 8 degrees Celsius or 46 degrees Fahrenheit, you're still good to go. It's so hard to say after that date you can't do anything because it's all weather dependent. All right, so that's it for this year. I've actually had an awesome time doing videos this year. I'm already looking forward to making more videos next year. I've been sick. I had COVID. I had a real bad case of COVID, and then I got sick 2 weeks after that again. So I haven't been able to do as many videos that I want this fall. I had so many things planned. I've even bought some new toys I was planning on showing. And after COVID, I had kind of the lung capacity of a 2-year-old. As soon as I got outside, I was out of breath, so I couldn't really do much. But next year, hopefully I can do more videos. And as always, just let me know in the comments below if there's something specifically you would like me to bring up. I'm always open for ideas. All right, so that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for this year, all of you who subbed and followed and viewed and supported me. I can't begin to tell you guys how much I appreciate it. I'm kind of overwhelmed this year how many people actually followed, and one of the most fun things about this is reading all the comments, and I really appreciate it. It's been so much fun, and I'm already looking forward to next year. So thank you guys for watching all the videos, and I'll see you next year.